And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Thank you so much for being patient with me. To take me a moment to just get all the replays ready, set up the overlays, and settle on in to a night with some extra StarCraft here. Again, we just wrapped up with... Oh, actually, hold on. Can I change this? God, I knew I forgot something. Bam. There we go. I'm back in space, baby. Back in space. Beautiful, beautiful. But yeah, we just wrapped up with Master Coliseum, and we did wrap it up for the day. As a reminder, there's still 2 days left of Master Coliseum, and we'll be casting both days on the final day, as we are going to be preoccupied with another event tomorrow with a LAN event in Poland, the House Galactic Battle. But for now, we have been building up some viewer replays. If you're curious, we do have a point redemption in the chat. In the chat, where you have all the points that you can redeem, or you can kind of gain, or can throw your points away in other ways. You can, of course, have us cast one of your replays from the ladder, from tournaments. They have to be your own. You can't like gain replays from someone else and send them to us. We try to, you know, keep them and have them be your own. So we do have some viewer replays redeemed over the past couple of weeks, and we are now going to be going over them. I just haven't had the time to actually go over them just because we've been covering so many events and we've been live so often. Now though, we have a couple of hours. We have some free hours here to go over some of these lovely and amazing games. So I'm a little bit concerned. I'm always a little bit anxious whenever we dive into this, because usually if someone redeems a replay, it's for a reason. Like, it's usually because like some nonsense happens, and and then there's chaos ensues, and we're just aping, Poppy. It's let's go. I'm scarred by that one time where I think it was on Gressvan. Frost redeemed a replay where it was just a Zerg player on the ladder that was just massing lurkers, and just the map was cut in half. It was like a 40-minute game. It was like a 40-minute game on Gressvan, and the Zerg player just kept massing lurkers and just moving them into siege lines over and over and and over again. It was like not even. It was like it was just like pure lurker hydra or something. It was just it was painful, but it was painful. We have had other games, of course, with cheese, shenanigans, cannon rushes as well. It's yeah, it's beautiful. So I'm ready to dive into what we have before us. Taking things off, something a little bit different. I'm never really comfortable. Oh my god! Okay. Interesting. I just get looking at some of these replays. Yeah, I'm not really the most apt when it comes to casting team games, but our viewer in the chat, Saundo, who you do see in the chat, has redeemed some team game replays. We have a 3v3 and a 4v4. I guess let's work our way up. Saundo, hold on. Versus 3v3. There we go. We have a 3v3 coming up first. We have how many? 6, 7 replays ready for us here. Some of them were redeemed by some pro players, so we're going to be able to sink our teeth into that at the end of the broadcast. But again, don't expect anything too serious here. Don't expect anything too meta. We're here more just to have fun as well. And usually the person that did redeem the replays in the chat. So again, do be respectful, do be kind as we get into whatever the hell we're about to cast. Oh boy. Let's go. Vámonos. As we are diving into a 3v3 here against Saundo with his clan, Bud Air is going to be going up against a team of random players. Oh, actually pure random. Oh, lovely. As we spawn into Nefor 1, and in the bottom left hand corner we have team Bud, or clan Bud Air. We have Abadude. Oh god. Lovely. The team game ladder. We have Team Bud Air, including our viewer here, Saundo, which is going to be the teal Protoss player with his 2 teammates. And I believe, yeah, there is Bud Sneezer. Yeah, beautiful. Lovely. Down here towards the bottom left. And in the top right, we do have their opponents. We have J-Hound, we have Dewdrop, and we have Crockpot as well. For those who are curious, when it comes to the overall skill level, we are at around Platinum/Gold between all these players. So we'll see how we do dive into this. Now, I miss playing team games. Team games are always a lot of fun. I'll be honest, whenever I play team games, like, the brain turns off. Like, it's just, there's a lot of chaos, a lot of nonsense as well. This is going to be one of those maps where we are sharing our main base, which can be a little bit annoying at times when it comes to Zerg players. There's this kind of weird thing in team games where, unlike co-op, where in co-op you can build on top of creep with your teammates, in team games you can't. So it's kind of weird that, like, there's no consistency there. It would be nice if there was a little bit more cohesiveness, but yeah, we do have our Zerg player here that has to be a little bit more careful. I mean, both Zerg players when it comes to spreading creep. Do of course have our pocket bases here. There are rocks here just closing off this right-hand side and this left-hand side of the map. So we have some free pocket bases here. I believe the center bases are goal bases as well. Very exposed in the center of the map in the main attack path. I will see if anyone can or will try to take these golds as we're kind of easing into our game. Nothing too crazy happening at the moment, just openers overall. We have a couple of pings going on. We have probes fighting probes off towards the edge. We even have these island bases, island gold bases. Let's go. I miss island bases. It used to be more of a prevalent thing, and you know, apparently they're in the team game ladder here as, ooh, Saundo, Papi. We are going to be sneaking out. I didn't realize how many gold bases are there. Jesus, there's golds all over the place. My god, there's 4 gold bases in the center of the map, and then we have the ninja or the island bases that are also golds as well. So Saundo trying to race out a ninja base. I would imagine quite viable here as well. It's relatively off towards the side. We'll see if we do end up catching it. Meanwhile, I believe this is going to be 4 gates. We do have a 4-gate opener out of J-Hound. As we did delay Warp Gate to make this happen. So not the most efficient of openers, but very gateway heavy nonetheless. Again, we'll see if our right-hand team can get a read on this and figure out what is going on. Again, I do appreciate the island bases. We probably won't see it. Team games are often very chaotic, and I don't know how often we can get to the point where we can take the island bases, but if we do, I'd appreciate it. I would appreciate it. There's kind of a lot going on at once. My my senses are being attacked right now. Like there's like numbers everywhere. What's everyone doing? We do have a 111 opener here from Butt Sneezer. 111 will be 4 CC, so not the best economy here from some of our players. We're going 2-base lair as well off of 3 gases. If I was watching a pro gamer here, I'd be like, yo, are they going for like the Hydra Rush? Are they going for the Miyamika build? From here, I can't tell. This is, yeah, we'll see. We'll see if we rush into, if we make use of this lair, rush into Spire play, rush into Mutas, that'd be really cool. Can work quite well here in team games. Likewise, also getting into a really fast lair. So lair timings are usually around the 4-minute 30 mark. We are sub 4 minutes and both players are just racing into their lairs. I'm curious if we are like-minded if we do decide to rush into Mutas. I would imagine that's like probably a thing to do in team games. Behind this is going to be 4-gate charge into DTs. Okay, DT is going to be in the mix. Meanwhile, Saundo across the map going to be getting into additional gateways as well. Just making use of his warp gate, getting into charge as well. Okay, so both Protoss players are going into charge in their own way. We do have both Zerg players rushing into lairs in their own way. And when it comes to the Terran players, there's no Terran up here. Oh, my bad. When it comes to the Terran players, we are getting into mech. Lovely. Mech is pretty prevalent in the meta of at least 2v2. I know, because mech is so efficient, like if you get into like the competitive 2v2 scene, like mech is all the raids. Skytoss as well. I believe the best duo in 2v2 is mech and Skytoss working together, coming as one. So again, mech is quite valuable. Meanwhile, there's the Spire that we spoke about. So we are indeed rushing to the Spire, at least from the Zerg on the left-hand side. Zerg on the right, we're getting into Roaches. With +1 melee? Okay. As we have found the base, Saundo tried to sneak out that gold and did mine it for quite some time, but now we're going to be denying this gold base. Probe's going to be going down. Lings, they coming from behind as well. I'm loving the teamwork here as all 3 armies come together to punish Saundo as he is getting into the ninja. He does go for the hidden base for the island. Is gonna be punished quite hard though. Like does take a big blow to his economy, and Saundo, he gets knocked down to 1 mineral line. It's going to be very difficult to saturate the space. He's going to have to try to recall over as we do get a kill. So nice pick up, and again, good scout from our right-hand team. Again, our Zerg player, unfortunately, here, we're rushing into Swarm Host. I'm getting a lot of mixed signals. So we got the Roach Warren, but we got plus on melee. We're going into an Infestation Pit with a second Evo Chamber. I'm feeling maybe Swarm Host, but we have a Macro Hatcher. I'm just gonna look away from this Zerg player. Let him cook, Papi. Let him cook. We'll see what comes out. Bottom left, mutas are soon to be amassing, and there we go. 13 mutas are going to be on the way. It looked like the attack tried to penetrate the main wall here of Clan Butt Air, but we have Cyclones. I was not quite expecting this. So we have Mech, but we're getting to Battle Mech. Cyclone Hellion. I'm not too fond of this. I mean, it's not bad, don't get me wrong. It is a very mobile style, not as efficient as the more traditional form of mech I would imagine here, but we'll see what we can make use of this, how we can make use of this. Yo, we got Storm on the way towards the right-hand side. We're getting to a Gateway heavy style here from the right, from all of our Protoss players. I don't think we made use of the DTs. Yeah, Dark Templar were not morphed in. It's possible that they tried to break through, but we have Ravens just like camping here at the wall, so DTs weren't able to achieve too much. As rocks are being knocked down and we are making our way towards some of these pocket bases. Gold is being taken. Again, we are still committed to make mutas soon to hit the field as well. Let's go as the mutas do move out. Meanwhile, Saundo has saturated this island base. I appreciate it, Saundo. I appreciate it. The Soundo's getting up and running. The base is getting up and running. Mutas have yet to move out, but it looks like we're just working together to shut down these rocks. Does Saundo have an army? No. The answer is no. I was like, oh, we're all working together to knock down the rocks, and I'm like, we have mutas, we have cyclones. Saundo has 1 zealot. Saundo, Papi. It's a team game. But what is the plan here actually as well? We have a Forge with +1. We have a couple of gateways. I was assuming we were maybe going to take into Skytos. Looks like we recalled towards top left. And to be fair, Saundo did lose his natural earlier. Like, he lost the goal base, so Saundo basically hasn't been a part of this game for quite some time here. He's here for moral support. I'm sure he's in voice with the guys, you know, he's chatting them up. As the mass mutaflock does come in. We have 24 mutas, and what is our answer to the mutas as we wreak havoc here in the mineral line? What were we doing with this? We rushed into a hive. There's nothing. Oh no. Oh no. There's nothing here. We talked about like looking away from our orange Zerg player earlier, and there's not much here. The Queen's gonna be going down. There's no real tech either. The Stalker's gonna be able to keep up, but we have lost a lot of workers. The goal base is still up and running. We have an economy, but what else do we have other than an economy? Not much. Not much, unfortunately. The mutas, they just go ham here, and we are eliminating this red or this orange Zerg player. We are massing Lings. That's a lot of Lings. True. We have a lot of Lings, but base is going to be falling. Meanwhile, back at home, we are transitioning out of Cyclone into Thor. So Thor production has commenced. Back at home, Butt Sneezer's just chilling. Our red Terran player, he's just taking more bases, just expanding. Saundo, I'm sure will soon make some units. I'm sure he'll make like another Zealot at some point and double his army size as we do get into the mineral line, and more drones going to be going down here as we shut down the bases of a Dewdrop of the orange Zerg. Ling run by runs into the Hellions, run to the Cyclones, not like this. And it does feel, oh, Saundo, he had a prison. He had a prison. It does feel like that our red Zerg player here it's putting in a lot of work. What else do we have to work with? What are we working with here? We have Storm, we have Blink Stalkers, a Gateway heavy army. We haven't transitioned into Skytos or Robotech. It's just gateways here. Just Blink Stalkers and Storm. I mean, Storm has potential. I do think that the only way we can bring this down is with Storm. How many mutas? 32. Oh my god. 32 mutas. Also, it would make sense actually. Saundo, are you feeding the Zerg player? That would make sense. That would make sense here if Saundo was giving all of his money to the Zerg. If so, then okay, that makes sense. As the mutaflock is getting across the maze here. 32 mutas in total. It's an apocalypse of mutas as we are just wreaking havoc here towards the top left, and again we can't really do much. Oh, you missed your DT. Oh, okay. Okay, Saundo. Okay. Oh, good. Cross map main army is going to be clashing, but we're running into mech, and yeah, we're just going to be running into a wall of Thors, a wall of Cyclones as well. Not like this. And hey, I mean, at least this ninja base, or at least the island base was taken. You know, I do appreciate that, at least out there. Do appreciate it. It looks like we are transitioning into Skytops. There we go. Double Stargate, fleet beacons on the way. We are working towards carriers. And yeah, unfortunately, just at the moment, our top right-hand team is really struggling here. Again, they don't really have a good answer for these mutas. When they saw them, we should have been seeing a transition into Phoenixes. Ideally, like Phoenixes, maybe a more Archon-heavy composition and go for an all-in across the map. At least these two Protoss players have an economy to work with. Like, they're, in a way, trying to hold their own. But as they're struggling to deal with the mutas, like, the mech army is still amassing. And honestly, it's almost as if, like, both the Zerg player and this Terran player can kind of 1v2 on their own. They're having their way with this, and that's a lot of mutas. Jesus. That's still only 32. Still haven't made more than that. There it is. Skytoss now on the way here for our purple Protoss. Second Stargate in production to help deal with these mutas. As the orange Zerg is going to be knocked down to one base. Knocked down to one base, Papi. At least what I do appreciate about team games is that you can feed your teammates. You can like send resources if they do need it, if they do request it. But yeah, this is getting a bit out of hand. this is becoming a bit much. Well, we haven't even spoken about this, like the mech army that's amassing. That's soon gonna push out. Like we're about to max here from our red Terran. Oh, smooch, Papi, smooch. But yeah, I wonder if we're ever gonna get a new team game map pool. I know that the team game map pool has been a little bit stale and has been left idle for years, I think. I don't know if there's much interest in it, but yeah, it'd be interesting. It'd be interesting. One can only hope. One can only hope. You can revitalize the team games. It's a little bit. I'm sure if like team games were a little bit more competitive, then I'm sure there'd be more push for it. But yeah, I mean, I guess they aren't bad. I would imagine. I don't get to play team games that often. No. So just following the mutas. You know, back home. That's Jesus. Wait, how many High Templar do we have? Oh, as we are going to be recalling over towards the left-hand side, we have how many? 15 in total. 15 High Templar. Jesus. That's a lot of storms. I'm ready for the frame. I'm ready for the frames to drop. I'm ready for the mass storm. And for the game to crash. Oh my, I mean, that's the way to deal with mutas. That's 50 mutas, by the way. 50 mutas here from our blue Zerg player. Show us the storm. Make it rain, Bobby. Make it rain. As mutas are pushing in, we're trying to catch him. Rotating around. And it looks like that Templar. Oh, some of them do overextend. We do graze the army at the same time. The mech army pushing on the right-hand side. We do have some chargelets. We do have some chargelets here from Saundo as we are pushing in on the right-hand side. Likewise, the muta's just distracting a lot of these High Templar. And honestly, High Templar could be quite useful here in the defense. We have some storms being thrown down, but there aren't as many available here. Storms knocked down here on those Hellbats. The yellow Protoss army is coming into support. Zealots are busting in. I mean, the Zerg player at this point, there's just not much left for the orange Zerg. They did have a rough time here in this game. Storms on Thors doing what they can, but the Thors, they just sit in them. They don't even care. Big feedbacks though. Loving the feedbacks on the Ravens, but the Thors, they just stand in the Thors. They don't even care. They like it, Puppy. They like the storms. As our orange Zerg player is going to be eliminated. Yeah, we will just be snowballing out of control. We have Skytoss on the way, but a little bit too late, and we're getting to Void Rays of all things, unfortunately, and Chi-Chi is going to get called. And yeah, it's going to be our first game. It's going to be our first game, Poppy. Again, don't expect anything too serious here. GG and Clan Butt Air. We'll take it. We'll take it, Poppy. GG. GG, well played. Again, I appreciate it, Saundo, that you did at least take the goal. You took the hidden base, the island base. I knew you would. I knew you would. Of course you would. Beautiful, beautiful. It would make full use of it. Took quite some time to make use of it, but Yeah, I appreciate it nonetheless. And, you know, you don't get to see 50 meters often. You don't get to see that every day. So I appreciate it. GG.